Welcome back to the HeroesHype Amateur Series. I am Gillyweed, and this is Anna. Hello, Anna. We're back. You're muted.
Not anymore.
Yay!
Guys, pray for me in my hour of need. Sitting here at my dining room table with a PC that doesn't want to continue. But I want to continue.
We want you to too.
So here I am, and it is going to be game 3, 2, 3.
Game 3. Yes.
Game 3.
So Lzuruha and Fraud are tied 1-1, and we are ready for this pick phase. I'm going to hop on over to that. I sent you a game invite as well. We are going to be on the Sky Temple, guys, and looks like Lzuruha has the first pick, first ban this time, and they have chosen to ban Malfurion.
Interesting. They did not like the Malfurion last time, apparently. They don't want to deal with that anymore.
Yeah, apparently. Interesting there. But Fraud's going to go for a much more standard ban and stop the Illidan from making an appearance here, which I understand.
Ooh, and Lzuruha answers by picking Lost Vikings right away.
Oh.
They, if I remember correctly, they banned Lost Vikings last game. Is that right?
Somebody did.
I think it was Lzuruha that banned them last time, so this time they're going to deny it by picking it. Very interesting.
Yeah.
Sky Temple's a great place for Lost Vikings, too, because, again, there are so many things happening on this map. You want to be all places at once, and it's very easy to lose out on soaking experience, but Vikings can help you kind of mitigate that. They can also be sent as emissaries to go grab temples if nobody else is paying attention to them.
Yeah. Vala pick here for Fraud. I'm wondering, I want to see it. I want to see a Vala Jaina. Do it, Fraud, do it. You can do it.
Yeah. Jaina, Vala, and Sylvanas, the ladies that we love to see in those first few picks that deal all sorts of damage. I would not be surprised to see a Jaina, but Fraud taking their time, thinking this out, maybe trying to decide whether they're going to go with that very healery comp again, or whether they're going to try something new.
I don't know. I kind of feel like maybe the healery comp was just in response to what Lzuruha did, but maybe. For sure we'll at least have one. It might depend who they have. Choosing to pick ETC here, I think he is probably the highest valued tank here on this map specifically, because it is so huge that having that stage dive, global map presence, he can be up taking a temple all by himself, hop out somewhere else if he needs to for a team fight, hop somewhere else to safety if he sees the teams coming in toward him. It's all of those global map presence heroes, ETC, Falstad, and Brightwing, really are useful on this map.
There's your Jaina, though. She's going to play for Lzuruha Gaming instead. So you've got a lot of damage coming out of her. You've got a lot of presence coming out of the Lost Vikings. We still see no tank or support yet, though. So Lzuruha may want to lock a support down, as they know that Fraud eSports has an affinity for them, and they've already banned out Malfurion. So if they want someone specific, they might be looking for that next. They probably are going to go with Diablo as their tank, and there we see an Uther. So yeah, they want Uther on their team this time.
Yeah, and I can definitely understand picking up Uther, especially if they are going after Diablo, like you mentioned. Stuns off of the throw are great, just like we used to see the stuns off of the hooks, rip stitches. Dude, I'm not sure if we miss you yet, but meanwhile, it's Fraud's turn to pick two heroes. They may go for healer here. They may... who knows? I bet they at least pick up a healer here in one of these two.
Yeah, some sort of support at least, even if it isn't a full a full healer. I wouldn't be surprised to see them go dual support again. They are going to need some more damage besides just Vala. She can deal it out, but they probably are not going to be satisfied with just her. They're looking at the Lost Vikings and the damage and the healing that Lzuruha has, and they're trying to figure out how can we make sure that our presence is as strong as theirs in lane, and that we are capable of staying alive just as long as them in team fights. Because the Vikings, that's what they can kind of do, is not handicap you too much in terms of team fight while still providing you a lot of range by having 2 extra bodies on your team.
Yeah, if for nothing else, then you just have bodies in the way of you trying to kill someone else who actually counts as a kill.
Right.
Which is so annoying. You're like, yeah, we got a triple kill, that's great. And really you only killed like one person and a couple Vikings. You're like, oh, we killed 1.5 people actually.
Right.
So
yeah, and it's different than some of these other heroes like Abathur, for example, where it really is, Abathur can do a whole lot in a team fight, but you're not going to have a body there. Whereas Lost Vikings, you're going to have 3 bodies there, so definitely not giving you the kind of handicap that some of those other specialists can. And we're going to see Sylvanas and Rhaegar for Fraud Esports. Sylvanas being that extra damage that we were looking for, and also being able to do a lot in the way of pushing and moving around and, like you say, mini-cursing people. And Rhaegar being someone that we've seen proven over and over again can function as a solo support. So in terms of the dual support I was saying I expected from them, maybe not so much. Maybe we're going to see even more damage coming out of Fraud, but I'm sure it depends a little bit on what Lzruha does next.
Yeah, I like the Rhaegar pick there because they know they're going to need a support anyway. And if they picked up all of their damage and then Lzuruha picked up somebody really weird, then it would kind of leave them vulnerable to that because they wouldn't be able to really pick anything else because they would know that they needed to get their support there. So they knew they would need a support eventually, going ahead and getting the Rhaegar, and that enables them to just kind of be able to answer Lzuruha and really make sure that they have everything covered in terms of their bases.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and the Diablo pick, not a huge surprise, like we said, someone that we were expecting. But now we see Jaina being the biggest damage dealer here. Vikings can do a fair amount, especially in their longboat, but I would assume we're going to see some more damage coming out of Lzuruha here in this next pick. Mm-hmm. I don't know who, though. Perhaps a Tychus? What do you think, Gilly?
I wouldn't be surprised to see a Tychus on either team here. I seem to recall people really liking the drill for the temples because anything that is really good when your team or the opponent team has to fight on a specific space. So even Starfall, I wouldn't be surprised for a Tyrande here on either side, but especially on Lzuruha with that Diablo too, being able to have multiple stuns off of the overpower here. That could definitely be a pick. And there she is. Yes! Are you still there, my friend? Did I lose you? I did lose you. That's unfortunate. All right. Well, I'm going to work on getting a new caster. Hopefully I will not be solo casting, but if I am, I will be doing my very best. Tassadar for Fraud is going to complete out this pick phase. Oh no, they picked him so fast. Why didn't they need to deliberate? All right, I think I'm going to have Messiah. I'm just going to call him. He doesn't even know I'm calling. It's fine. It's good.
Hello?
Hey, can you cast right now?
Yeah, if you need me to.
Would you mind?
No, I don't mind. No, I don't mind at all. Do you need me to mute my microphone?
No, we're live.
Oh, we're live already?
Yeah. We're actually in game 3 of a best of 3, and Anna is just like DCing. I'm not sure if we're going to be able to switch out, though, because we already went into the... Crap. Can you switch back into the other version of lobby once we're in the hero select phase? I thought you could.
I think you can.
Dang it. Oh, there we go. Okay.
Poor Anna.
I know. She's been having so much trouble.
Do you need me to camera?
Not for now. Eventually, if you have one, but
Yeah.
otherwise it's fine. Okay. Thank you for joining. Hey guys, this is Messiah.
Hey everybody.
They had warned you, right? This might happen.
They warned me a little bit, but that's fine.
Okay, cool.
Honestly, I'm here to help out, so it's no problem at all. And I'm not doing anything. I'm off tomorrow. Woot! So I'm not doing anything at the moment. So
Yay. So good to
good to go.
hear. Thank you so much. We really appreciate it. We still have 2 best of 3s left after this. So I'm glad that we could get
it's
you in.
it's okay. I'm ready to go. I'm ready, folks. Got
All
this.
right. So we're going to be on Sky Temple. It's between Lzuruha Gaming and Fraud eSports. Fraud is going to be most likely in the blue to catch you up. Let's see. Lzuruha won first game. Fraud brought it back second game. Anything else you need to know before we cast this?
I should be good. Let me pull up the bracket really quick while we're loading into the next game here.
Awesome.
You said Lzuruha. No, you said
Yes.
Lzuruha and Fraud, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Sweet. I'm good to go.
I believe we're in the round of 8. And I will go ahead and introduce Fraud Esports, who is indeed in the blue trunks, with Lex Uther playing Rhaegar, Anxiety playing Vala, How on Tassadar. We know he loves Tassadar. Kiefer's on his signature ETC, and playing Sylvanas is Bellamorte.
And Lzuruha Gaming, we have on the red side, we have Pirate Rum on the Jaina, Spurbeck on that fancy Diablo, made on the Uther. We do have down bottom Evan Durandid on the Tyrande, and we have J Kerps on those flashy Vikings.
I think last time I played with you, we were casting Evan on a or last time I casted with you, we were casting Evan on a Tyrande. Isn't that right?
I know Evan, he loves Tyrande. He loves Tyrande, that's for sure.
I've just got the official seal of approval from Blythawk that you are awesome. So I guess we are good to go.
Oh, all right, sweet, awesome. Thanks, guys.
All right. Well, so far it looks like we've actually got the Vikings all hanging out in bottom. Not going to split them up as much, but Spurbeck and Evan and Pyrat really looking for a possible gank here, as they'd be able to take out somebody really, really fast between the 3 of them.
Yeah, with Diablo and Tyrande and Jaina, it's just so much damage that's going to be coming out. Overpower on Bellamorte. Stun does go out with the Frostbolt, but it's not going to be enough. And the side of Fraud Esports ends up getting away there, as I try and remember the names of the team. So, no overall kills for either side of victory on that. But as we can see down middle lane, as we have Diablo Spurbeck trying to contest a little bit with Kiefer's.
Tassadar has taken out Olaf, actually the biggest of the 3 Vikings. So holding his own versus 3 Vikings. That's pretty cool to see, of course. And he's just trying to keep the Vikings off as much as possible, trying to bully them into getting most of the experience. And the first temples are going to spawn.
Yep, first temples are going to be up, as we see. First one's going to be in the middle, and then also at the top. And if anyone new is to the Sky Temple, it's always key to go for the middle one because of the map positioning with the forts and the healing wells and so forth. So it's better to take the middle one, but even then, so if you do get 1-1 and you're still lane pushing, you're still doing an awesome job. You're not going to fall too far behind, so it works out in the end.
Yeah, exactly right. You can just get a little bit more ahead in experience by being able to take out that tower. But of course, some people prefer to take the top one occasionally, because if they would like to push up top and just have a really strong lane, take out that top 4 while the second temple phase is activated, that's also a possibility.
And as you can see, a bunch of both on both sides. 1-for-1 temple at the moment. You see both sides pushing their lanes respectively, where they're both staying up in experience. So it's not like the snowball effect has started. They're still on equal terms, pretty much.
Yeah, really close in experience. I really like what J Kerps did with the Vikings. They're splitting them up right as the temples were spawning so that they can continue to get experience, not have to worry so much Bala's going to be able to take out Olaf, but does take quite a bit of damage for it. Will get away. No problem there. Has a healer there. Meanwhile, Keepers, though, on top, getting chased down by Pyrat, Maid, and Evan. So that's going to be a kill there on the side of Lzuruha.
Way too much stun on the side of Lzuruha Gaming, as they ended up just pretty much stun locking ETC the whole way back where he couldn't escape. And that's just a combination of how the three heroes really play out. And overall, very good job from Lzuruha Gaming picking up that kill.
Yeah, both teams kind of just trading the attacking here of structures. On top, we see Lzuruha pushing in, but in the middle, Fraud are doing the exact same thing. So both just really trying to pick up some experience by taking out the towers. And that also helps them out because whenever there is a temple that they're able to pick up, they don't have to waste shots on the gate or the towers as well. They're already down and it can focus on the fort.
Yeah, so it works out where with the ammo from the temples, like you were saying, helps overall. Just to go over some talents really quick, as the side of Lzuruha Gaming is starting to take those bottom giant camps, and we have some push going down on bottom. We see Sylvanas with that Envenom, another choice that you see quite often from Sylvanas coming out. We have Rhaegar with the Farsight, Vala with the Arsenal, Healing Ward on Tassadar, another standard one, and on ETC we have Echo Petal, which is just going to pulse for extra damage nearby. And overall on the other side from Lzuruha, it's pretty standard itself with how I'm seeing the picks. And Spurbeck actually going in to start and engage, but it's not actually going to work in their favor.
Yeah, they're able, some good heals from Lex, going to keep that Sylvanas alive, even though she is pretty squishy. And the next temple phase is spawned. Both teams so concerned with bottom that neither took their bruisers up top. That's pretty uncommon. But they're going to be going for this temple. Of course, second temple phase is always bottom, and with a great overpower from Spurbeck onto Lex Uther, followed closely by that stun from Evan. Pyrat's able to just throw so much damage onto Rhaegar, that's right, and take him out. But for now, it looks like Fraud is still going to gradually hold this, maybe step back. They know that they're 3 versus 4. Tassadar is still trying to push versus those Vikings, and here we're seeing the Vikings really make them pull ahead in experience as they're still sitting up there soaking the lanes.
Yeah, right now Lzuruha definitely has the command down here on bottom. As you see, Lunar Flare going out from Evan on that. Spurbeck kind of in a rough position. He's getting body blocked by Kiefer's, and as Kiefer's is an ETC, he has a lot of health. So right now it's definitely looking like in the favor of Fraud eSports as they're starting to push and get these kills, and they're going to end up securing this bottom temple.
Yeah, everyone came in and was pretty healthy there, and that bottom temple is so difficult to try to escape out of because every other temple you've got multiple ways of escape, but this way is only through the top. And as you saw, the amazing body blocks from Kiefer's on ETC, but then the body blocks from everyone made them secure quite a few kills down there.
I'm trying to think. I know they probably know that the temple's still up, and they're probably working this to their favor because on the side of Lzuruha Gaming, they'd have to go down to grab it. And they know they can just team fight here because they're 10. That's interesting that they're doing this. They're not just camping it now before both sides actually turn 10. So I'm interested. I'm wondering what they thought about that game plan.
Maybe they thought they could just take out another fort where they had people down. But yeah, now Spurbeck's coming in. And we're going to have a team fight. Both teams have their heroic abilities. Keeper's getting caught out here just a little bit, taking quite a bit of damage from Jaina, but will be able to push people away. Is going to stage dive into the back line, really wants to go after those squishy people. Pyrat is already really low and taking a ton of damage from Anxiety. Will be the first to go down. Spurbeck might be second, getting very, very low, with Lex actually right up in front with Kiefer's, dealing a bunch of damage as that ghost, and they will take out Uther and Uther as well. So no heroes down on the side of Fraud as they take out 3 plus 1 more Viking and the fort.
I think the attention from Lzuruha Gaming was just not on point there during that fight. It just didn't look like they were targeting the same hero that they should have been melting down. I mean, yeah, you have Kiefer's going behind with that stage dive that really kind of hurt the retreat if there was going to be any. But still, I think Lzuruha Gaming might have just kind of overstepped it going into that chokehold like that. I don't think it was the best call on their part.
heroic abilities for both teams. We've got Wailing Arrow, Ancestral Healing, Strafe, Archon, and Stage Dive, of course, on the side of Fraud Esports, with Lzura taking Water Elemental, Starfall, Divine Shield, Longboat Raid, and Lightning Breath on the Diablo.
Lightning Breath, one of those fan favorites. Usually end up seeing Apocalypse from him, but in this situation with how their team composition is, it seemed like maybe Lightning Breath was a better choice. But we'll see how it plays out. I mean, the game's not over. Blizzard Gaming's down by a little bit, but they still can come back on this map. It's pretty easy if you just get that one complete ace on the enemy team.
Fraud with such a quick push, they have that Sylvanas, so they can push in very quickly and take out any sort of structure, even if there's not any minions there to soak the damage, because Sylvanas can render them useless. And so they've taken down all but one fort now, still every single fort up for Fraud, and they've picked up their level 13 talents. So they are pulling ahead here a little bit, and we should see the next temples very soon.
Yeah, next temple phase should be starting very, very shortly. You can see that clairvoyance going off from the side of Fraud Esports, just to kind of see where everyone's hanging out so they don't get ambushed or anything like that. It's just to go over some talents while we're waiting for the next temple, and there's not enough engage going on at the moment. We see Sylvanas with that evasive fire, another key one that a lot of Sylvanas players take to kind of get on that retreat. We have Rhaegar with the Feral Lunge for that extra damage coming out. Vala with that Frost Shot slowing down her enemies. We have Shrink Ray on Tassadar, and we do have ETC with that Uber Rockstar, which is definitely going to speed up that whole team as they try to advance and start a fight.
Alright, well, Lzura is still a talent tier above, and this next temple phase is, of course, when two more spawn. It's random which two it will be, and this time it's top and bottom. So they're being held one each, but Fraud is coming in to try to maybe pick up some of Lzura, and there is actually the ETC stage diving in from that temple. They know they can always go back there, and now Tyrande wasn't actually there. Spurbeck is caught out, throwing a lot of damage with the Lightning Breath, but it's not going to be enough. Pyra is really, really far over, and this team was just split up, went down really, really fast, and they're going to lose more people before they're able to get out of here. This goes into as well.
Yeah, they were split up in that engage, and it didn't help that the fact that they have Tassadar and one of the strongest heals currently in the game, Rhaegar, with those big burst heals. So overall, it ended up turning into the favor for Fraud Esports, as they're just going to end up cleaning up the rest of this side of Lzura Gaming. So there's only Jaina and Tyrande still up, but there's just a lot of squishiness on the side of Lzura, and I don't think just enough healing output and protection like Fraud Esports currently has.
Yeah, they have picked up Sprint for both Tyrande and Jaina, so hopefully they'll be able to quickly get out of an unfavorable position and set themselves up for a better team positioning. Lzura is going to go after this bottom temple, and for now they're once again going to split up the temples, with Kiefer's grabbing the top one, but 3-level difference. Now, they've just grabbed their 13 talents, but Fraud is already on to level 16. They're like, man, get on our level.
And just to go over Fraud's talent choices here really quick. 3 Blood for Bloods. So, let the melting commence. I've done this in games where it's just brutal, where you coordinate these 3 attacks and absolutely just melt like a tank, which I think they're going to end up doing on Spurbeck, to be honest. And we do see Tassadar with that Dimensional Warp, so he's going to do the Race Car build, and we see ETC going with that Imposing Presence, which is going to reduce the attack speed, slowed by 50%. So it's looking very, very good for Fraud Esports, but Lzura definitely needs to catch up before this next temple phase.
Yeah, it looks like maybe they were going to engage in on the fort, but actually not quite sure where their opponents were. They're going to go up and just push the top, try to catch up in experience. Unfortunately, a couple of their teammates are down on bottom, trying to deal with this crazy push that is Sylvanas, that is 2 levels ahead of them. It's a hard place to try to push into, though, so they have that going for them. It's really easy to be able to defend on a place where there's a bridge like this, so they will keep at least that tower barely alive, and their keep, of course, alive as well.
They know they definitely do not want to fight on a death bridge, as you can call them. And Keeper's going in here to maybe start to engage, as Spurbeck's going to get a little bit slowed, but you know, Fraud's just shown their dominance, and they are saying, hey, you're not taking this mercenary camp, you're not taking these bruisers unless you're going to die for them.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Looks like the Vikings might be coming around from the side a little bit. Not sure what's going to happen there. Maybe a side boat, perhaps, but really close to 16 now for Lzura. They really could use that. The next temples are spawning, and there's 2 in mid and bot, and actually Fraud choosing to maybe show here as pushing again. There's those level 16 talents for Lzura though, and Spurbeck's going to come in. They would like to get a team fight here. Keeper's getting very low, will be ancestral healed. Spurbeck's taking a lot of damage and not really going down quite yet, but there he will die, and everybody's still very well healed for Fraud eSports, and that's just showing, man, the shield plus the heals from Rhaegar doing work. Once again, they're not losing anybody during those team fights.
No, not at all. And just checking from Sylvanas, Rhaegar, and Vala, all the blood for bloods were used in that match, those 3 of them. You can tell by how just the amount of damage and how they were soaking it back up. So blood for blood is definitely what's keeping Fraud eSports ahead on these matches currently, and it's looking rough for Lzura, but they still have a possibility where they can come back. They're just going to have to work really hard for it.
The last four Fraud is down, but this keep is taking a ton of damage, and it will go down as well before the day is done. So that's going to be the first keep down on the side of Lzura. That's just really due to the fact that they were able to push earlier with the Sylvanas, take out the turrets. It helped them deal the extra damage to it as well. They did trade here, at least for temples, so Lzura has picked up at least some shots, trying to stay even. At least this middle keep is at least exposed, but now they're just going to be murking up, and I'm betting soon we're going to see people start posturing around that boss.
Yeah, boss hasn't been touched all game, which is not too surprising, as it's usually like the last case of what you want to be doing. Kiefer's does see the Vikings, and they're going to push him back, so they do not actually get it. So poor Jake Kurps is not going to be able to get the bruisers, and we see Lex Luthor and how new guy going in there and stealing the rest of them up. So down below though, we do see Lzura Gaming taking that boss, which it's not going to do too much, you know, push potential. It could. Ooh, but Kiefer's coming in, and oh my god, almost denying that capture. Now this is going to be rough for Lzura Game because they are all low. Stun does go out from Pyrat with a little bit of a snare. Maid is just going to get caught though, as that totem ends up going down. Lex Luthor is just going to pummel him into the ground. And overall, it was a boss victory for Lzura Gaming, but it's going to be a kill and a giant camp victory for Fraud eSports.
You know, the Viking feint was real there. It was like, hey, look at me, just, you know, chase the Vikings around. You don't need to know where the rest of the team is. And by the time they figured it out, yeah, they went in and ETC tried to stage dive, but it was just not quite enough. Now, though, Fraud has picked up their level 20 talents. They are prepped and ready for this next temple phase, as Lzura, still only at 18, has a full level to go before they'll be at the same level.
Storm talents are very dangerous. Sylvanas and Vala took the route of more mobility just to play it safe. Rhaegar took rewind for them extra heals, etc. We do see Tassadar taking the Archon, so he's going to be pumping out a little bit more damage there. And ETC with that hardening shield, which is going to make him just a force to be reckoned with, and just so much beef, if you get what I mean.
I do indeed. Once again, Fraud doing a really good job of pushing in the gate and the turrets before picking up the temples. And now we see Lzura coming in here for the temples. They got to be really careful. They do not have those storm talents, and they're really separated on top of that. Vikings are coming in from the other side, though, going to probably boat up here. They would like to try to take out, they do actually take out Tassadar, so not having those talents, but they are at least making it work for now. The boat goes down really quickly, though, thanks to that strafe. Oh my gosh, it melted.
And they're just going to continue the pursuit. They want to get these kills. They want to get the level back up to equal. Lex Luthor taking damage. He's going to be slowed, and that's also going to be taken down by J. Kurps, Evan, and Pyrat. And you can see Spurbeck knows, hey, no point going for that temple. We want to go for the actual push. Bella Morte getting stun locked there Awesome play by Spurbeck on that overpower. And this is going to be a major push for the side of Lzuruha Gaming. The question here, though, do they go and finish this game? They still have 30 seconds left until Tassadar and Val are up. And this is going to look like they're going to go for this finish as Kiefer's is the only one still up at this point. And wow, what an awesome turnaround. As we just see, Lzuruha is possibly going to take this.
Oh my gosh, how? One team fight. Sorry,
One
I just
team
inhaled some drink because I was so excited. One team fight. And what happened in that team fight? Was it just that Fraud was trying to stay within the temple and just wasn't willing to move, and it allowed Lzuruha to really surround them and take someone else? What was it there?
It looked like how you said they kind of want to contest that. They wanted it maybe a little bit greed. I'm not really sure what the calls were, but it did look like Tassadar was maybe just out of position where he should have kind of been in the back. And unfortunately, without Tassadar and that just shield he has, it ends up making it a lot harder for the rest of the team to actually stay up. So unfortunately, just one play in Heroes of the Storm can mean your loss.
Yeah, one play, one team fight, really proving, guys, that this game is not over until the core drops. There's no like, oh, GG at 2 minutes, because anything can happen there just like that. So congrats to Lzuruha, who will be moving on to the next round, and unfortunately that means Fraud will drop. Crazy.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that they were doing so good all game, and it just came down to one play where it ended up not going in their favor. And at that point in time, with the amount of damage that Lzuruha Gaming was bringing, Jaina, Evan, J Kerps on the Vikings, it was just too much. Where if there was at least 3 people down, it was going to be game. So good try from Fraud eSports to keep the game over, but Lzuruha Gaming, very good job coming back and taking the victory.
Super awesome, guys. We will hurry to bring you the next best of 3. It will be in the round of 4, so semifinals, and we will see you very, very soon.
See you.